Mm. The beauty of the breath. In a moment, Peter's going to be joining me, and we're going to be talking all about the beauty of meditation, the gift that keeps on giving, and our journey of discovery and connection to it, and the reason that we started utilizing it ourselves. Hello, brother. Yes, perfect. Accept, accept.
Hey, brother.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Great. Good to see you.
You too. You too. How are you?
Fantastic. But really surprised and concerned about these crazy times that we're living. And happy to be here with you and talk about meditation, how powerful meditation is, especially in these times, especially for everybody. And it's really important that we do this and we talk about the beauty of meditation and the roots of it and everything to inspire some people to get with these millennial techniques that can really help us in these times.
Yes, 100%. And I would say that on my, let's use the terminology, awakening journey, meditation was the biggest changing point, the biggest breakthrough. And it allowed me to really, in truth, to find myself. The noise that's going on in the world around us at the moment is very, very chaotic. Looking around, I practice acceptance, accepting each person is beautiful in their core. We're all beings of light, beings of love, and we have different programs that we run. So if somebody behaves in a certain way, it's because of their previous experiences and their programs, their belief systems, etc., etc. So I try my very best to be mindful of people that are living in massive degrees of fear and then to basically act accordingly. But I still find it quite peculiar how much people are selling away their freedoms in exchange for safety. And again, so meditation brings us that feeling of safety without having to go around keeping ourselves isolated or separated. Meditation connects us back to the truth of who we are.
Exactly. And in this, in this great, when my biggest mentor in life, he always said, when life gets complex, return to basics.
Yes.
And that's so powerful, And when we talk about meditation, a lot of people, and that was the case for me too, way back then. My journey started in meditation in like 17 years ago. And I remember, what am I doing? Why am I meditating? I should be working and running around and making money. But you go back to basics, and if you really think about meditation, is our utmost essence, basic element being. We're born from the mother's womb, and we are born from a state of meditation. We're closed, we're in silence, we are guarded, so there's a very important point there, that we are born in a state of meditation. So that's our natural state. That's our natural state. Our natural state is not to run around and be moving around all the time and going crazy like this society has taught us to be, right? Our natural state is to be calm and to be meditative. So that's a very important point to bring up. We are born in our mother's womb in a very calm and meditative state. That's why we're called human beings and not human doers.
Yes. Yes.
You
That
know,
was what I
we're
was.
we're human beings. We're not human doers. You know, we're not human runners around. You know, going crazy in the streets and competing. And especially today, you know, where the planet is right now, it's moved back into a sector of the universe where the light is. So we're back to a place where if we return to our human being essence and meditative essence, everything starts working out for us without having to run around and compete and fight. If you just connect with yourself and your essence.
Thank you for that beautiful reminder to all of us, to myself included. It seems very counterproductive, especially for anyone listening that is in the corporate world. We're told we have to do. In order to achieve something, we have to work tirelessly towards that achievement. And I've spoken to so many people at the moment that the current pandemic has brought them into a situation now where they're not even having lunch breaks. They're being encouraged to work through their lunch break, to just grab a quick bite on the go, as it were. And as a society, we're becoming more and more focused on productivity and actual achievement of material things. So to sit in silence with your thoughts and just do nothing seems like a waste of time. But actually, if you allow for the mind, picture for a moment the mind as being a snow globe. And the way society has us at the moment, everything is so frantic and shook up that we can't actually see the information that we're looking for when we look within the mind, because there's so much distortion and pollution. So meditation allows for that snow globe to settle, so that then when we actually look for the answers to the questions that we have, it's like, oh, there it is. Oh, that's what I should actually be focusing my energy on at the moment, or that would be most beneficial. And it is especially useful. Say you've got 10 things that you think you need to do, but you're not sure which one to do. Meditate, ask the question, where should I start? Just allow everything to settle in, and you'll be given the answer. Meditation is truly, truly the gift that keeps on giving. It really, really is. Truthfully.
Really is. It's so important that people start getting on board with this. It is the ultimate cure. And, you know, the meditation is the consciousness, the attention you put into the silence. But even more simply, that the meditation takes us to our natural breathing. And what can be more powerful and more important to us than breathing? Breathing is everything to us. Everything. Everybody talks about, you know, how important eating is and drinking water. And if somebody doesn't drink water in 2 days, he dies. But where do you see it written anywhere that if we don't breathe right, we're done? And this is connected directly to this pandemic, this coronavirus. It boggles me how people are wearing 2 masks or masks and they're not breathing right. We're not oxygenating our bodies. People are getting sick from the virus and then they're going to the hospital to get oxygen. I mean, just think about that. People are putting masks on their face. They can't breathe. They get sick, and then they go to the hospital to look for oxygen. We're simply not breathing right. The last 20 years and going back since the internet came out, and we've been running around so much and going after materialistic things and getting rich and getting this and that. We've just been mouth breathing, just through the mouth. Very shallow breathing. The lungs is not a processor of oxygen. The lungs is simply a filter. The breath needs to come down all the way down to our stomach. Going back to where we're born from our mother's womb. If you look at any baby, any baby that's born, including us when we were born, how do they breathe? They inhale through the nose, they bring the air down to the stomach, and they exhale through the mouth. That's sacred breathing. That's natural breathing, and nobody today does it. So meditation is not just calming the mind, but what calms the mind is that our bodies start to breathe the natural way. We settle and we return to our ground zero of existence. And in these times today, it's so important that we return to that. Not only in the 10 minutes that, not only the 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 20 minutes that we're meditating in our chair or in our lotus position, but I pay more attention every day when I walk, when I'm out in the supermarket, when I'm at the park walking. I'm breathing with my core. I'm breathing all day long in a meditative state. All day long. When I'm washing dishes, when I'm talking on the phone, when I'm typing on the computer, I'm breathing all day long in my natural way of breathing. And look, brother, I've been, since the pandemic, I've been flying around, I've been everywhere, and there's the virus, I've never felt anything, absolutely nothing. To breathe naturally, to return to our essence way of breathing is so powerful. It will heal everything in you, and it will keep you so powerfully guarded from anything else, just with the breath.
100%, 100%. And it is, as you said yourself, from the moment we're born, what do we have in common? We all breathe. It's the first necessity. From the moment we're born to the moment we die, it is that breath that allows us this beautiful experience, this gift we call life. And something very, very beautiful that I was sharing in meditation because of this situation, because we're now globally all aware of each other. There's something we all have in common, which is the situation at present. And more beautiful than that, the one thing we all have in common is the air we breathe. It's the same air. So if we all took a breath in now, breathing in together through the nose and out through the mouth, it's that same air we're breathing. That air that connects us all, which then allows for the blood to actually oxygenate the body through the pumping of the heart. And as we all know, the heart is the symbol of love. So I would say actually each breath we take in is we're breathing in love, so that we can then experience this beautiful tapestry of life, this beautiful game or play, however it is you wish to see it. And it is so important. And just this weekend gone by, I went to a retreat, men's only retreat, and we did cold water therapy. And it was so important to oxygenate the body, first of all, by breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then at night times, we were taping our mouths closed, so we could only breathe through the nose, so that we woke up in the morning more oxygenated, more rested, with saliva in our throat so that it wasn't drying out and making us wake up in the night needing to go to the toilet. There's so many benefits of actually breathing properly. And as you said yourself, mouth breathers. I said that just 2 days ago. The synchronicities that you keep coming out with is just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, if anybody wants a starting position in their meditative practice, it would just be to be mindful of the breath, to be mindful of each breath in and out, and the beautiful opportunities that that breath allows you, because take the breath away, that's it.
It's a natural connection, you know, when you inhale through your nose and you feel the air, you know, you feel the air, you're aware of it. When I inhale, I say, I thank you. You know, I thank the universe. I thank the air. When I bring it down to my stomach, I feel my stomach. I feel my stomach inflating. There's a connection there between you and your body. And there's that peace, because the soul of the human being is it's in the stomach. It's in the nervous system. It's in our intestines. Whenever we cry, whenever we're really happy, where do we laugh or we cry? It hurts. It's in the stomach. You know, the center of our body, starting from the umbilical cord of our mothers, the center of our body is our belly. So
Nice.
when you feel this breath and you take it in and you feel your body, there's a natural connection between the outside, the air, the oxygen, and yourself and your body.
Mm-hmm.
So you become aware of yourself. You become in touch with yourself.
Mm.
While everybody, this culture has taught us that we need to become in touch with the person outside, the person that we love, the people outside. Everything has been, you have to connect to everybody else. But what about your connection to yourself and to the
Yeah.
air? To me, oxygen, breathing is truly God. To breathe is to connect with God, because the singularity, the Big Bang, one of the first elements that came out was hydrogen and oxygen after helium. So to breathe in a calm, in a conscious way where you feel it, is to connect with God and to connect with yourself, which at the end of the day is one.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Just soaking in that beautiful wisdom.
I've been meditating now since 2008, when I started this, when my life completely flipped, when I was living on the external, everything was externally, everything, I was focused externally and everything. Typical man, right? I was 28 years old, a lot of money, and everything was, dominate the external, be the best on the external. But I was empty on the inside. I was empty. And then some things happened where I couldn't go anymore. And then they taught me this meditation. And let me tell you, brother, in less than a day, in 2 sessions, I mean, 2 sessions of meditation, it was less than 20 minutes. For the first time in my life, I felt a connection with my inside.
Mm.
I felt grounded. I felt the sensibility, and it changed my life forever. For so I've been doing this since 2008. What is it, 17 years now or something like that? A long time.
Mm.
Um, if I don't meditate, for for a day or 2 days, I immediately feel the difference. Immediately, my body will start tensing up. My back will start tensing up. Just everything starts going away. When I come back to my meditation, it's absolute bliss again.
Mm.
You know, and I helped this young lady out the other day who was in a really bad shape in her life, and I taught her meditation like 3-4 days ago, and the result, she immediately said, when we came out of meditation, I said, how do you feel? And she says, I've never felt something like this. I've never felt myself. I've never felt. She had no words for it. And to put in 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 10 in the morning and 10 at night, it's nothing. It's
No.
nothing. Nothing.
And the time that you will gain back, anybody listening, if you are thinking about starting meditation, honestly, the time you will gain back in productivity after meditating will be 10 times more than you actually use the time to meditate with. It clears the mind and allows you to become full in yourself. That's a beautiful terminology. And as you were speaking, I saw an image of somebody living on the top floor of an apartment block, and they're on the top, and they think they're all alone, and they're quite worried and panicked, and they're looking out at the world around them, feeling very isolated and very, very fearful, almost quite lonely, and as you said yourself, quite empty, because the rest of the building is empty. But actually, if you realize that you can take all of that energy that is quite often now bouncing around in our head and breathe clean, fresh energy in, and breathe your awareness as well down into your abdomen. And as you breathe out, just releasing everything that is no longer required, then it's like, oh, hang on. Oh yeah, I remember. I'm not just my thoughts. I'm also my feelings and my emotions. I'm also my body. And actually, if you think about it for a moment, in meditative practice, sometimes we meditate on the area where the air enters our body. And then just in front of it. So the air being part of us and connected to us, where is it? It becomes part of us when it's in our lungs, when it enters our nose, or when it's all around us. And it's those sorts of questions that we start to ask ourselves when we get into the meditative practice that completely flip the script and open up a whole new reality and a whole new world of potential that was not previously there.
Yeah, if anybody listening to here now or in the future, if they need help, learning to meditate, reach out to you, reach out to me. I mean, there's so many people. We're all standing by, to help, and
100%.
all these. There's a lot of people just, they're hurting today. They're suffering. They don't know which direction to take. Feel free to reach out to us. Pass it on to people that you know. It's so simple, it's so simple to get connected to oneself.
Yes.
And at a metaphysical level, how metaphysics works, or metaphysics, or God, or the universe, or whatever you want to call it. If you connect with yourself, you connect to the outside, and the outside starts working for you. You can call it the secret, you can call it, metaphysics, you can call it God, whatever, but it's natural magnetism. It's based on magnetism, which is God, the way the universe was created. If you are in a good frequency, if you're in a good state within yourself, you will attract, you will co-create, you will create. We all know this. It's already been proven scientifically. It's in every place we look now. You will attract or co-create or collapse into your reality whatever is good for you, whatever you're feeling. So to be connected with yourself in a calm way, in our natural state of being, which is peace, which is calm. Again, how we were born. And again, how nature is. If you look outside, look outside your window. If you look at the trees, if you look at the ocean, if you look at the clouds, if you look at the garden, everything is, its natural essence is calm. Nature's essence is calm. If you look at the universe in a telescope, the planets swirling around, everything is in a calm, orderly fashion. So that's our natural state of existence. Our natural state of existence is not what we've been told to be strong and be alpha and dominate and control and run around, and that is not our natural state of being.
That comes in a fearful state, when especially as men, when we feel fearful, we become defensive, and then we go on the attack as opposed to just being receptive. It's allowing for things to take place as opposed to having to rush in and try to solve the situation or deal with something or come to some form of conclusion. It's just being able, as you say, to just sit and watch the clouds. And even if there was a storm going on outside and the wind was blowing and it was shaking the tree around, if you actually tuned into that tree, the tree would still be calm.
Yeah.
The elements around it are blowing it about, but the tree itself is still calm. Even when its leaves are being blown off, even when its branches are being snapped off, the tree is calm. It's fully accepting of what is. It doesn't try to change its surroundings. It just keeps very centered in itself. And in the winter, another beautiful reflection coming back to the tree. It may appear that the tree's dead because it's lost all its leaves, but it's drawn all its energy in and it's bunkered it all down into its root system so that when the conditions are more optimal, it can flourish again. And sometimes we need to do that ourselves. Take a bit of time to rest, a bit of time to recuperate, a bit of time to meditate. And then when you're more refreshed, more energized and more focused and excited, which is what's missing so desperately from the world at the moment. They've taken away our excitement because we don't know what's going to happen, especially in the children. It's clear to see because there's no understanding of set points in time. We don't know the next step. We don't know what's going to be taking place in 2 weeks or 2 months. But to come back to the tree, it's just allowing and accepting, and then being ready to make that change, being ready to grow our leaves and bear fruit once again when the conditions are more optimal. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly. I really think this virus is really good for us. It's really good for us. You know, it's made us stop and to think about a lot of things and to reflect and make us conscious. Right before the virus, I was walking around in Peru, and I remember so well. I knew something was going to happen at a grand scale because the energy was just so heavy everywhere. You know, everybody's been running around, just go out, get satisfaction outside, buy stuff. We've been using, you know, the planet. We've been taking natural resources out like crazy, and we're very anxious. So, you know, let's take the wisdom of this virus and don't buy into the hype. You know, take the mask off when you can and breathe. Just breathe the natural way we're meant to breathe, and you will be more than great. You will be in your natural power.
Yes, a beautiful breathing technique that I utilize whenever I become slightly disjointed, I guess. I see everything as energy, so I even see myself as energy, and I know if I become focused on something which is cause me some form of annoyance or upset, it's literally like I then become a bit deformed, and I can feel this deformity in myself, and I know that it's only energetic. I know it's not physical, but if not addressed, it will become physical. And a lot of the time when people have bad backs or some form of muscle tension or any really, I believe, any form of ailment is because of a state of dis-ease, which then can be corrected, as you say yourself, with the breath. And a beautiful way that I breathe is to breathe into the belly and then actually to take a second short breath up into the heart center. So then you're breathing into yourself and then up again, and you draw that energy up into your heart. So I breathe down my back, down my spine, watching as though water's cascading down each chakra and filling each pool into my base, my root, into my belly, and then up the front to my heart, and then out of the front. And then it's as though I'm cycling with the universe. It's coming in and out, as above, so below, as within, so without. Beautiful.
That's awesome. I'm gonna try that. That's really good. And that you're hitting that point that's very popular these days. You know, the divine masculine with the heart connection. You know, heart-based living. You know, heart-based living is a popular concept right now. You know, get out of our head and into our hearts, and it's very true.
Mm-hmm.
I started reading into this like 2 years ago when it started coming up. But what you just said, brother, if you take your breath down and you focus on your heart and you pull it down to your stomach, your diaphragm, and then up to your heart a little bit, you're now breathing with your heart. You're sending the attention, the air to your heart, and the heart will start alchemizing that.
Yes. And
the heart will start performing, operating in a better way. You must know this. There are more thinking neural synapses in the stomach and the heart than the brain.
Yep. More
and when you make that breathing that you just did, that bringing the air down to your stomach and then up to your heart, you're just in your most powerful state there.
Yeah. Thank you. It's beautiful.
Everybody's, you have to be super intelligent. We've been doing this for so many years now. You gotta think, and you gotta be the most intelligent person. And I always had trouble with that because I was really bad in college and school, and I just couldn't do it. But there was always a deeper intuition to me. There was always something deeper than just the brain. And We got to get out of this. There is so much more when we come down back to our center, the center of our body, our belly. When we come back down to our center, there is so much life, so much more there to get us excited, and it will get us excited. It will oxygenate our bodies. It will start, cracking, lighten up all these synapses in our stomach, in our heart. And what you said, it will start getting us excited again about life, especially in these times, but and with in a calm, peaceful fashion, because our body is oxygenated. What do we have in our stomach? Our stomach, I always tell people down here, our stomach is like a grill, like a barbecue. We have food there, we have acids there, we have liquids there. It's like a barbecue, right? Or a stew. What does a stew or a barbecue need to cook well? That the fire is going on well, right? So what does the fire need to fire well? It needs oxygen. That's why when we don't breathe right, that's why we get that pain, that indigestion in our stomachs. And that's where ulcers come from, and then cancer comes from. It's simply I've helped people heal from cancer just with conscious breathing. What is a cancer cell? A cancer cell, everybody has cancer cells. Everybody has cancer cells. But when they start expanding, it's because they're reaching out for oxygen. They're literally reaching out for oxygen, but since we're not breathing right, we're not getting oxygen to those cells. If somebody starts oxygenating and breathing correctly, the whole body will start healing. It's unbelievable.
Very interesting. Beautiful. Yeah, it makes so much sense. Provide the body what it requires, and it stays in a condition of optimal health.
Perfection. Perfection. It stays in a condition of perfection. We're perfect beings. We are perfect beings, literally.
Truly.
I have reached, during the pandemic, the first year of pandemic, I was back in Brazil. I'm in Peru now. I was back in Brazil, and I really focused. I just started eating really clean, fruits and vegetables purely. Nice. Started exercising. I just buckled down in the pandemic. It was great because there was nobody out in the streets. It was beautiful. Nature came back. It was calm. It was peaceful. I just said, I'm just going to go deep within. And my skin is crystallized. My skin, everything crystallized. Like shining, like crystals everywhere. My skin. We are like literally perfect beings if we can just come out, block the external a little bit and come back to ourselves with our breathing. Our breathing is so powerful. Have you ever done ayahuasca or DMT or any of these psychedelics?
Not properly, no. I've tried DMT, but not enough of a dose to push me through the barrier, as it were. It's something that I am very interested in doing, and I know that when the time is right, I'll be guided towards wherever it is to experience the experience. So.
You know what is the biggest source of DMT in the world?
Not sure.
Our lungs.
Really?
Our lungs are big producers, huge producers of DMT. If you just start playing with your breath, I get high every day and every night just with my breath. Just pump myself full of air, and I will literally start getting high, like really high. It's amazing. It's wonderful.
Beautiful. The natural way.
The natural way, And then with that highness, you tap into your intuition, your extuition, and you start getting connected to everything.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And just to reflect your journey into meditation, I've probably been meditating for about nearly 8 years, 7 years, 8 years. And I knew I knew, without having ever done it before, I knew the power that could be found in meditation, the beauty that could be found in it, the calm, but also the clarity and the drive. There's so many beautiful ingredients that we can gain from meditation. And I put it off for a very long time because I felt that it was my job as the man, as the father, as the husband to provide, to work.
Yeah.
And I did so very masculine. I focused on tasks and I achieved them. And I would be non-stop for 14, 16 hours a day. And then I'd sleep and then I'd do it all again the next day. When I first meditated, it was as though, honestly, I opened the door to a whole new world. The first time I did it. And within about a month, I was astral projecting all over the place and meeting all these beautiful light beings and absolutely blown away at this. If somebody had told me 2 months before what I'd experienced then, I would say, no, that's impossible. And having then experienced it myself, I now know that impossible only actually means I'm possible. Impossible, I'm possible. For me, anything is possible. I am being the most powerful words in existence. And then I learned about grounding and protecting and carried on this journey. And as you said yourself, life is now a meditative practice, really. It's returning to the breath. It's being mindful in those moments of chaos. So anybody listening still now or listening back on repeat, next time you find yourself with nothing to do, stuck in traffic or in a queue, come to the breath. Be mindful of the breath.
Exactly.
Change the whole experience. It goes from something being a chore or like, I'm getting frustrated, I'm stuck in traffic, to, oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Just one breath is meditation, just like we did right now. One breath can be a meditation. One good breath can be a meditation.
So, Michelle, breathing wise for meditation, whenever I enter a client into a receptive state, a meditative state, like a light hypnotic trance-like state, I utilize box breath, which is breathing in through the nose for the count of 4, holding on the inhale for 4, breathing out through the mouth for the count of 4, and then holding on the exhale for 4. And it brings it into a feeling of stability, and it's very masculine, it's boxed, it's square, but then it also allows for structure to take place. So then if you started your meditation in that way for maybe 10 cycles, you would then be very focused upon what you're doing, meditating, and then you could return to the natural breath, which is literally, as we said, breathing in through the nose, all the way into the belly, into the abdomen, and then back out the mouth, cycling and flowing through that energy. And as an added tip, I guess, or a technique that I always personally utilize, before I travel off in meditation, I make sure I'm grounded to this earthly realm, so that I know that if something happens or I feel that I'm gone too far, let's say, I can instantly come back. So in that case, I would breathe in through the crown of my head and I would breathe out through the soles of my feet. And as I breathe out, I picture roots growing out of the soles of my feet into the earth. That grounds me to the earth. It keeps me safe, protected and grounded. And then I'm free to keep the, let's say, avatar vessel grounded to the earth, and then my soul can travel around wherever it wants to, knowing exactly where it has to return to at the time it wants to.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Thank you for those. Thank you for those tips and techniques. I'm gonna incorporate them into my breathing. Thank you for those. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Beautiful. It's, as you say, it's being playful, to be playful with the breath.
Yeah.
And we can practice a way, which I'm sure that you use yourself, to get into a very open state of mind. And again, if you do this, please ensure that you're aware of grounding, first of all. Because in my journey, as I said, within about a month, I was all over the place because I didn't know about grounding. I actually left myself open to psychic attacks and manipulation and things. And then it took me a little while to center back into myself, to become fully me again, and to ground and protect and everything else. But it's the short breath, it's the short in and out breath. So and if we do that for a period of time, again breathing into the belly, it produces
just through the nose.
Just through the nose. You could, without slowing it down. It produces such a large amount of oxygenation in the blood that we become very floaty, very connected to the heavens, if you like.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I'm going to do that. I've been thinking about that short breath for a while. Thank you for that. I'm going to do that today.
Yeah.
There's so much to play with, right? So much within us with just breathing that we can play with, you know, and usually a lot of the anxiety that people are suffering today is because, you know, what do I do next? Where do I go? I need to do something, you know, I need to go out. I need to affect something. Affect yourself, you know, connect, monkey mind, connect with yourself, your breath. There's so much within us, you know, to eat right, to drink right, to walk right, to your posture, your breathing, your meditation. That's a lot of stuff to do. That's a lot of self-love to do for yourself every day, you know? And when you start tapping into it, your life becomes great. Your soul connects to your mind and to your heart, and it says, you're giving me attention now. You're giving myself attention, you know, and you start blossoming, you know?
Yes. And also you actually, again, so it's counterproductive again. The most important people in my life are my children. So I need to focus all my time and attention on my children. Actually, in order to give the best to your children, you must give the best to yourself first. It's the old terminology of not being able to give from an empty cup. We fill ourselves up and then we overflow to everybody else around us. This is the most beneficial way. And as well as this, you give your children a very powerful representation of who we should be in life. If we're always lowering and limiting ourselves, we're not actually doing anybody involved any service. We're taking away the potential of our own children's growth. We're showing our children, give yourself to others. No, give yourself to yourself.
To yourself, and then you will have so much more to give to others. So much more.
Yes.
And that's again, that's tied to God or to our creation. You know, when they said, okay, the Big Bang, the singularity, let there be light, all that, let there be light, that's our essence is to serve. The light came to serve us, to create us. And that's in that serving there, it's love, because nothing will be created or serving. There's gotta be love there. It's love, right? That's how the universe is made, of love, of expansion, of light, and to serve. So it's really important what you just said, you know, first we need to serve ourselves, and then we start serving others. So it brings us way back down to our utmost essence again, you know. We're all coming back to our ground zero, our essence.
Yes. And a feeling of worth, quite often, again, men particularly, and this is me, this is my reflection of my previous state of existence, right? I didn't used to be able to sleep unless I felt I had absolutely broken my back through the day working to achieve whatever it was, because I had attached my feeling of worth to how much I achieved in the physical, how much I got done, how much I had produced, or, you know, how much money I'd made that day. But really, the true feeling of worth should be attached to how well we treat ourselves. So take away your worth on anything else and only ever attach it to how well you treat yourself. Doesn't matter what job you do. It doesn't matter how much you achieve or what you believe. It matters how you treat the most important being in the universe, which is yourself. Because without you, there's nothing. Nothing. None of it exists. That learning absolutely blew my mind.
That's perfect. We're how do I say it? Electro emotional magnetic beings. We're energy beings. We're batteries, and we have to keep the battery, well maintained and well regulated. Take the breath. It's basically a battery. It's I/O. It's input and output. Input, output. We're batteries. So how we regulate our battery with our I/O, with our input and output through our breath is most critical. If we're inputting too much, it's not good. If we're outputting, exhaling too much, it's not good. If we're not taking the air to the right parts of the battery, not good. So to regulate, like you said, to take care of ourselves, to give ourselves our utmost attention first, to take care of our battery is so important. Especially, I think it's really worthwhile to mention today, it's for the young generation today, for the young kids today, they are hurting, behind their clothes and the music and all this stuff and all the Instagram and all the smiles and beautiful bodies and all that, they're hurting deep. And anybody watching this, or we should do some efforts in the future to get all these young people, connect with yourself, because they're powerful. They know a lot of things. They have great abilities, but they're not aligned. They're not centered. And for them to meditate, 2-3 minutes a day, 1 minute, or just even a breath, it can really help them.
They've been misinformed. They've been misguided. And brother, that's my biggest drive and passion in life, is to empower the children. The children are our future.
Yeah.
And conscious children start with conscious parents. So the more of us that are teaching our children consciously, the more benefit we're producing and creating for the whole of humanity. The way that you raise your children affects us all. It really does. Really does. Thank you.
Everyone.
And just as a little comical, because I feel very deeply, so I'm going to come back to a bit of humor here. And when you said about the pain, I couldn't help but focus into them and then want to cry. So I'm going to bring a bit of humor back in, which is to go back to the Big Bang. It's when God the Father, and I call it the Om-gasm. So the Big Bang, the Om-gasm, because Om was the first sound that was created. Yep. It was when God the Father exploded into the universal mother, creating their children of multicolour. It was like a little riff that came to me, and I just thought it was quite cute.
That's awesome.
And I believe, as we said before, that the universe is expanding. I believe that we are the expansion of the universe. Everything is conscious. Consciousness creates all. Is energy vibrating at different frequencies? Yes, but without a consciousness to perceive it, there is nothing to be perceived. There is no physical without the mind. Without the mind to create the illusion or reality around us, there is nothing to perceive. So, as you continue to expand your awareness, your consciousness, you create the very expansion of the universe itself. As the universe must expand in order to house your continued expansion of self. We are the expansion of the universe. We are the evolution of humanity. We are the future. And the future is bright. Trust me.
Right. It's bright.
Come back to love. Come back to the breath. And it's all perfect. It really is.
I'm with you. I second you on that. It's so beautiful. It's so The future is bright. It's so bright. I echo you on that. But it starts within. It starts within. You know, it starts in the breath, in the most simplest thing. I mean, look what we're talking about. Just take it in for a second. Just breathe. Just breathe correctly, and you will be awesome. You will be awesome. But it takes courage. It takes courage. It takes, you know, because when you breathe down to your stomach, a lot of emotions come out.
Yes.
A lot of people are scared to. I was with another friend a few weeks ago, and I told her, try that. Try breathing down to your stomach, and she couldn't do it. She couldn't get herself down there. She would stop right here because there's a lot of trapped emotions. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of sadness. Everything's trapped down there. But we have to have the courage. We have to have the courage to start going down there slowly, breathing slowly. If you're one of these people, we all have these issues. We all have these problems, and we all can cure them. Just start coming down to your breath, slower, till you can hit your stomach. And when you can come down there to your core, to your center, you will start to flourish, and life will start flourishing for you.
Yes. And as well as having the courage to do so, bring in the light of everything and everyone. We are with you.
Yeah.
We're all connected. We're all in this together. You know, my little rift at the end of my videos is now and forever we are in this together. United we stand, and together we rise. And I am here for you all, as I know you are, Peter. We are here to help educate, and it's really guiding each other. I believe that we're guiding each other back home to the self, the universal self, back home to love.
It's helping people remember.
Yes.
You know, we're not teachers. We're not even guiders, if you want to say. We just help people remember, because everybody knows this. Everybody knows this stuff. Yes. We just got to help each other remember who we really are.
Yes.
Who we really are. We are powerful beings. We are most powerful beings if we start treating ourselves as such. You know, and close the external, everything going outside, and return to yourself. We are such, you know, the word human? The word human, Hu, comes from Sanskrit. Way back then it means God, God-man, human, man of God. Yes. We are most powerful beings when you connect with, you know, a good diet, a good natural diet, with good natural thinking, with good natural breathing, with good exercise. We are very powerful beings, very powerful beings.
And as you said, it's raising the magnetic frequency in the body.
Yeah. I don't know if you can pull up that chart. That would be really interesting to show that.
I don't think I can share anything on the comments other than
post it.
What I'll do,
post it afterwards.
I'll add it. Yeah, I'll add it in the story after, and I'll also, as you said, to make the video into something we can share on other platforms. I'll incorporate the imagery into that.
And if you look at that chart, you know, it's really interesting, because everybody always thought, even myself, everybody thought that, you know, to be happy, to be moving around, to be competitive was the highest frequency. But it's not. The highest frequency is peace. Peace is the highest frequency. That's the omega state. The alpha state that everybody, especially us men, especially me all my life, you know, I wanted to be the alpha. If you look at that chart, the alpha is way down there in fear.
Yeah. I was surprised to see that. The alpha is literally the bottom. It's where it all starts from.
And the highest states of frequency, the highest vibrations, the highest frequencies are in peace, joy, and love. You know, especially peace. Peace is the highest frequency. To be calm, to be peaceful. That's where you get into, you know, the theta waves, the delta waves, all these waves that are smaller waves, but their frequency is higher. So it's really.
If you look at it as waves, having a smaller peak and trough means that we don't go up and crash back down so much. Because when we go up and down like this, no wonder that we're so disjointed and shook up all the time. So it is,
Yeah.
it's bringing it back down to the more level playing field. Beautiful. What was it I was just going to say? I was going to comment on something then. There was two things that came to me, but the second one felt more relevant.
It'll come to you. The other thing I always love to mention, and it happened to me when I started meditating, and it has to do with this, is, people, especially men, they think, when you sit down and you meditate, you're going to become calm, and you're going to become very peaceful, and you're going to lose productivity, and you're going to lose, doing things, and it's the opposite. It's the opposite. You're going to become calm and, Buddhist or whatever you want to call it, and tranquil and slow for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But then when you come out of that meditation, you're gonna have some serious power, some serious horsepower inside of you, which is gonna make you faster, stronger, more productive, more thinking, more aligned mentally. So a lot of the men, all the men that I've tried, that always came to me and said, their biggest fear, and I remember it was mine too, it was, am I gonna become, slower and more calm? I don't wanna get that. But it's the opposite. For those 10, 20 minutes, whatever you meditate, you do become calmer, but then you become super, super powerful after that.
Focus, laser vision focus.
You become, it's superpowers. It's superpowers.
It is.
You get into, what you said, astral travel, you get into telepathy, you get into all this intuition, I call them uploads and downloads, everything just starts, everything starts working for you. It's magical. Our life is set to be magical if we know how to operate our internals well. We are magical beings. I literally don't leave the house. I don't have to run and everything. When I'm centered, everything happens for me. Everything comes to me. Everything comes to me. It's absolutely blissful. Now, when I start meditating and breathing right, and I start, and the external pulls me away, everything starts getting out of hand.
Likewise, literally, when I'm in my most natural state of being, everywhere I go, I light up, and I make the world a brighter, better place. It's like, literally, it's like I just illuminate my surroundings. If I become disjointed again, and I become unmindful of where I've been focusing my attention and the energies that I've been taking in and giving out, I will darken the room. I will literally become very heavy, and I know that the people around me are then a little bit, ooh, who's this person? Because energy doesn't lie. I know this myself firsthand. I've experienced it with other people, and I know, so therefore it exists in me. I know that what's out there is in here. I know that if you go into a room and you can tell somebody's angry, well, I know because I can read energy. So if I'm feeling out of sorts or angered in any way, I know somebody else is going to be able to pick up on that. So again, when we actually look after ourselves, first of all, we benefit everyone else. It all starts with the self. The healing of this world will not come about through helping or healing another. It will come about through the helping and healing of yourself. And a hatred and fear of war, or let's say a hatred and fear of Rona, will only create hatred and fear. It is a love for peace, that will actualize love and peace. That's it. That's it.
Well said, brother. Well said. Well said. Amen to that. Especially saying these things around Christmas time, Especially saying these, it's an opportunity for all of us to be born again, as Jesus, to be reborn again, to, I fasted last week. I fasted 3 days straight, or 2.5 days straight. And I just picture myself. I watched a lot of films. I'm not religious or anything like that, but I believe in Christ. I believe in Jesus. I'm not religious, none of that. But I watched a lot of films, and in a lot of films I watched them walking around without a lot of food and fasting all the time. I also lived in Africa and the Middle East and did Ramadan, and I know the power of fasting. And, you know, just to not eat, you know, not to consume like we're doing it, that's just peaceful, you know, not to consume is peaceful. And when you're fasting, when you're in a state of fast, even as little as, you know, you stop eating at 9 o'clock at night and you don't eat anything till 9 in the morning. That's normal. That's natural. That's 12 hours of fasting. That's good. You know, to breathe consciously or meditate for a couple minutes on an empty stomach, that is powerful. The things I've been able to do, just breathing and being on a fasted state on an empty stomach, I have seen some things, my friend, that are absolutely magical, and I have felt some things that are out of this world, beautiful, beautiful. So, you know, speaking of this around Christmas time, you know, all the tools are in us. You know, all the tools are in us and between us. And between us, like you said, you know, we're magnets and we feed each other. So it's really important in this time going into next year, you know, where we get out of this control mechanism that they tried on us and we return to ourselves, you know, because there is so much more. You know,
we're already back.
Fast for 12 hours and focus on your breathing. Reach out to us. Reach out to people. Reach out to you. Reach out to me. Pass this message on to somebody that you know, has depression or is anxious. And we take this world back and we light it up again from the inside out, my friend, from the inside out. And see, even you and I, you know, we stop, and I stop right now, and I go into my breathing right here, right now. We can't let our emotions get too high. You know.
Did you feel that? Did you feel the flood of emotion that was?
Yeah. And then we control it. We don't let our emotions control us. We control our emotions. You know, through again our breathing.
Back in the room.
Our breathing.
Beautiful synchronization again. The most recent meditation that I've uploaded to this mainstream meditation. It's the other channel. I've got 2 YouTube channels, and it's dedicated solely to meditation. It's a Christ consciousness activation guided meditation. So I take everybody on a journey to activate the Christ consciousness within themselves. So again, synchronization. It's just beautiful. Thank you. And yes, anybody needs any help in any way, shape or form, even if it's just someone to listen, we're here. So
we're here. We're here for you. We're here for you.
Thank you, Peter.
And another concept that I downloaded a few years ago is, you know, around Christ. You know, Christ. I always connected to the word crystal, Christ crystal, or clarity. You know, or transparent, or being a crystal. Because metaphysically, at a metaphysical level, everything is atoms. Everything around us, yourself, your skin, the computer in front of you, everything is atoms, right? And inside those atoms, there's little crystals called quarks and gluons and everything. So the Christ is everything. The Christ creator is everything. So when you breathe right, you're clearing yourself. You're clearing your crystal. You're clarifying yourself. You're purifying yourself. You're exhaling out, you know, tension, whatever is in you, you're exhaling out. So you're crystallizing yourself. You're Christalizing yourself. You know, and I go back to yourself, to what I said about watching movies of Jesus and everything. He was always clear and white and just always, you could always tell in the scenes that he was breathing. He was breathing. He was connected to himself. So when we breathe or we meditate, we are Christalizing or crystallizing ourselves. What I mentioned to you, I did back a year ago in my skin. My skin was literally shining. So we all have, we all come from Christ. We all come from the singularity. Everything around us, we all come from the Big Bang, the singularity. So we have that ability to crystallize. And
that is where the crystalline-based beings comes into play, as opposed to being carbon-based.
Exactly. It's just breathing, my friend. It's just focus on your breathing. Like really, really get into it and eat right and do the basic things. And we all can crystallize. We can all crystallize.
And again, this is the sort of thing that should be taught to every child around the world. It's the power of the breath. It's the power of intention. It's the ability to focus your light upon something you wish to experience and actually walk the path towards it, to grow it, to create it, to focus on the flowers in the garden of the mind and grow them as opposed to the weeds. Because if you focus solely upon the problems in your life, I guarantee that you'll attract more of them to you. You'll grow the weeds bigger and bigger until you can't see the flowers. I learned this the hard way. And now, in truth, without those hardships and those going into complete darkness in order to then discover the light days, I wouldn't be who I am or doing what I do. It's only because of the trauma that I've experienced firsthand that I wish to liberate others from the same, you know.
Beautiful, brother.
When we're gifted the ability or the information to flow through us, I feel that we have it's almost a responsibility in some ways, and it's one that I accept with absolute gratitude.
It's our innate responsibility, you know, all the way back to the singularity. You know, it's what it's to serve, it's to be light, you know, it's our being.
To serve everyone else is to serve the self. To serve the self is to serve everybody else. Either way you look at it, help somebody else, it makes you feel good. You help yourself, it echoes out and makes others feel good. Again, singularity. Beautiful.
Singularity. It all comes, it's all so simple, my friend. It's all so simple. It's all so simple. It's incredibly simple and so powerful and so magical if we just return to ourselves. If we can just bring down that reptilian ego a little bit, just bring it down and control it and eventually get a hold of it and control it, everything will flourish, you know, everything will flourish. And we're on our way. We're on our way. You know, we are on our way. Next year will be good. We have to be better. We have to be reborn again. You know, in the image of Christ, in the image of light and love.
Let's know that we are already there. We're there. We've done it. Light always fills the darkness. Goodies always win.
Always.
And we don't have to do anything. We could all just sit there and eventually die from starvation. But for me, I am on a journey towards my most joyful and optimal future destination, a world of true harmony and equality for all. This is the passion that drives me in everything I do. And we are already there. We just haven't reached that point in space-time yet. Yeah. There's nothing that anybody needs to do. As you said yourself, peace is the highest frequency of vibration.
Peace. You said it all, my friend. I applaud you. That's what we need. The King of Peace, Jesus, the King of Peace. Peace is and again we said, you know, in the chart, peace is the highest frequency. You said it. You said everything. Thank you. It's the King of Peace. We can all be kings of peace. And if at the same time this frequency, as the chart that you're going to show, is the highest vibration, peace is the highest vibration. It is the element that will go on and co-create your life for you effortlessly. So
my head's just tingling like crazy now. Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful.
No, thank you. That's the peace that we are missing. The King of Peace. We can all be kings and queens of peace.
I had an image, right, to share with you. I've only shared this with my girlfriend before because it's quite. It's accepting we are the entire universe. I had an imagery of being Moses, being pushed down the river and then being Moses. And I was like, okay, I can accept that. And then I was like, and then I was shown, and you were Jesus. And I was like, no, that's too much. That's too controversial. It can't be Jesus. And it took me a little while because of societal I accept that now. But because of societal conflicts, I couldn't. It was too much. And then I got bombarded by this same dream, this same imagery for about a week. And there was two sides. There was the people, as it were, and there was some form of military police. And it was like conflict. And these two sides were, there was a breaking point. They were ready to actually, you know, start killing each other. And I don't know why, but I had appeared behind the armed police, the military. And I was walking through them, walking towards the front. And every person I walked past that was like angry and ready to fight just sat down. Every single person I walked past just sat down and put down their weapons and just sat down. And I walked to the front of that side, the front of the army, let's say, the military, and I turned to face the one person that was left who hadn't sat down. And I looked at him and I just stood there looking into his eyes and just shining him love. And he hit me over the head and I died. Instantly I died. And as soon as he hit me over the head, I sent him love and forgiveness. And before, I don't know if it was before I hit the ground, or maybe I hit it and it bounced back up. I'd gone and then I was back. And I know that the reason I was resurrected in this imagery was because even though he'd just killed me, all I showed him was love and acceptance and forgiveness. And that was one of the most powerful imageries or journeys or learnings that I've ever been gifted. Literally, every single form of hatred can be dissolved with love. It just depends. We're all beings of love. We're all beings of light. Some of us have more darkness around us, more layers to work through. So the larger your light, the more likely you'll attract more darkness to you, because it's like a moth to a flame. If you've got a moth with cataracts, it can't see the dull lights. It needs to see the bigger, brighter lights. So the lighter you are, the brighter you are, the more important it is to protect and ground and make sure that you're doing you, so that you can then be that point of reference, that inspiration, and help reflect the wisdom that resides within the other person back to them. Because again, as you've said, everybody knows it all inside. We've got everything we need. We just need to be reminded of that sometimes.
Lovely, lovely, brother. Beautiful words. We can all be Moses. We can all be like Jesus. We all come from the same little atom. We all come from the same singularity. It's, the base program, the base code of expansion, expression, light, and love from the singularity is in all of us. All of us. All of us. It's just really deep down, buried really deep down. But it's accessible. It's all there for us. And if we get through the layers, like you said, it's bliss. I'm 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", big guy. I played college basketball in the US. I was in the military. I'm a big guy. I got a lot of degrees. I could have been, a millionaire easily if I kept going on my life like that. But going back to what you said, to have felt peace within, and self-love and joy. Joy is not happiness. Happiness is, okay, let's go drink beers and be happy, right? Joy is when you have happiness and peace together. Joy is more subtle and more powerful. When you start feeling this peace, this joy, this love inside of you, and it's very hard for me because everybody in life expects me to be, big and powerful and rich and all that. But once you touch peace
I don't expect anything from you, brother.
Exactly.
I just want you to be you. Thank you.
Once I touch that peace and that love and that joy inside, especially peace, internal peace, my peace, that I'm peaceful, there is nothing absolutely more beautiful than that. Because remember, before the singularity, before the expansion, the Big Bang, what was there? There was nothing, right? Silence, peace, absolute peace. So really, our utmost essence, the ground zero of our code is peace.
To return back before whence we came.
Yep.
Beautiful. And just to reflect, because it came to me when you were speaking, happiness and joy, they are two very different frequencies. As you said, happiness is going out and having a drink with a friend. Joy is the smile on a baby's face. That's the way I would describe it. It's love and like happiness, but not happiness. It supersedes happiness. Joy is everlasting. Happiness is fleeting. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, my friend, it's been beautiful. It's been great talking to you. Great, absolutely great. It's really awesome to find another man, especially in the places where I live down here in South America. There's a lot of macho and a lot of strong men and all that stuff. So I honor you, my friend. I commend you. Thank you for being who you are and for being the leader in this. And let's keep this going. Let's keep this going.
Definitely, Peter. Thank you. Thank you for finding me. We've all been on our journeys. I've become very isolated in the physical because of my journey. And I've been calling in like-minded men. I've been calling in brothers in arms, but not to pick up our swords and our shields, but actually to hold hands and to link up and to create a world of fucking true beauty. And it is our role as men to hold space and to create structure, to then allow the beautiful divine feminine to flow forth and to joyfully and playfully skip along that path towards that brighter future for us all. Because I truly believe it's the feminine that is going to create the changes that we need. I don't like using the word need, but we need. I desire. I would like to see. And we hold the space. We create protection and structure and guidance. Peter, the work you're doing is phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you for brightening the world and making it a better place. Because, without the work that you and so many people like us around the world are doing, who knows where we'd be now? Who knows?
Getting to our best as masculine to protect the feminine. They are the ones that are going to change the world. It is on us to protect them, to hold that space, and to empower them again. All
yes.
These last hundreds of years, especially the last 20 years, been such a masculine energy. We gotta empower the feminine again.
I think your signal's cutting out, brother. I can't hear you.
No? Can you hear me now?
Oh, you're back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just saying, let's maybe do this, once a week with some amazing women that are doing this with us, or some other men around the world, in Africa and South America, and we can get a lot of great energy and light going through these. Let's use technology to drive the light again.
100%. Yes. You use what we have. Use the tools that we have. I didn't use the light technology, but now it's our channel. It's our ability to express and to share. So 100%. Beautiful.
All right, brother.
Thank you
so much.
All my love, appreciation, and respect. My king. Thank you.
My king. Right back at you. Right back at you, king. We talk soon. This has been great, huh? Great to do this with you.
Likewise. Thank you.
All right, my friend. We talk soon.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Thank you all. Speak soon.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Either of us, anyone, please. You have any questions, and as I say, even an ear to hear. We're here. Love you all.
Likewise. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this, and we're here for you.
Thank you.
All right, brother. See you. See you soon.